we finished the 6th round of the GRENKE Chess tournament, and we go through the games again today with Peter Leko, of course. The first game that was finished was Vachier against Meyer. He brought a novelty, he told us, Georg Meyer. Did you spot the novelty?
Definitely, because this bishop c5 move was very strong. I mean, it definitely required very good knowledge, but once you know that this is your preparation and you really have to defend the honor of the Rubinstein French, and this is what Georg is doing. He exclusively plays this opening. So this case, Maxim played one of the most fashionable lines. So in order to be able to play the Rubinstein French, you had to have a solution to this line. And Georg had basically shown it to the world. Yeah, what he has already worked out probably, I don't know when, but for quite some time. This bishop c5 with e6, e5, first it looks anti-positional, and but the whole point is that black is ready to sacrifice some pawns in order to activate the pieces, and then once you see all these ideas coming, then you feel that, yeah, this is it, that's a solution, and probably black has no problems.
Right. I was just wondering, also ask Georg Meyer about novelties. If you have a good novelty, do you want to save it for a special moment? But if you wait too long, it might be that other players also spot this novelty. So what to do in such a case? Do you use it sooner or later? You have to. I think you'll use it. When is the right moment, though? Do you think?
I think this was quite an important game for Georg today, because yesterday he had lost a very bad game to Magnus Carlsen, where right out of the opening he just mixed up something and got really very unpleasant position, and he went on to lose the game without a fight. And after such game, you really want to prove to the whole world that no, that was just an accident, which can happen to anyone. But tomorrow you will really see my real face. And Georg had proven that. So I think he was really happy that he got the chance to illustrate that he is indeed working on chess, and he has great ideas. So I think he was really pleased to play bishop c5, and Maxim is the player against whom you really have to show good ideas, because if you give him a little bit of a chance when he plays with the white pieces, then you most probably will be tortured at least, but you might be crushed. So it was the right moment.
Right moment, okay. Second game to finish was Levon against Wu Yifan. He won again, +4. What did you say about that game? Looks again quite smooth.
Yes, I mean, Levon got a very promising position out of the opening. I mean, usually Hu Yifan is playing the Ragozin against d4, but she wanted to surprise Levon with this knight bd7 variation. But it seemed like Levon knew much more about it. And I can't even say that Levon did something very special. He just played the most natural moves, and I think he was in some kind of a preparation, but the position looked so good so early that in your preparation you don't go any further. You just stop right there, that you are only dreaming of to getting such position, and then you think like, okay, if I'm getting this, I'm good enough to win that. And basically that's what happened. Hu Yifan was fighting hard. She was finding resources, but Levon is just too experienced in these positions. The two bishops were really compensating for the sacrifice pawn, and it was very difficult with black to play practically the position. And I felt like in a practical game against Levon, I don't know anyone who would be able to hold that position.
Okay. So after that result, Carlsen and Caruana had to push maybe to get some final chance to share the lead, and maybe tomorrow when Aronian would lose tomorrow then. So Knightage Carlsen, as we said, expected yesterday quite a fight again.
Yeah, I expected a big fight. Finally, we also got a big fight, but the opening was interesting but a bit strange. It was not exactly clear what Arkady had in mind, because it didn't look like he got anything out of the opening. He tried to play in Jobawa style with a knight on c3, so during my live commentary I was a little bit skeptical of white, because I just don't believe in this setup. So I never really felt that he had any chances to fight for an advantage. It looked like black was quite comfortable. However, there were some psychological moments because Arkady also felt like it's not his style to repeat, but he had no other choice. So when he went knight c7 and knight b5, basically Carlsen could have repeated, and maybe objectively that would have been the most natural outcome, but both players wanted to fight, and I think the spectators can be very happy that they did not repeat, because finally we have seen some really high class chess. Arkady was putting some pressure, and Magnus then solving the problems in a very nice way with this bishop takes f3 and then knight e5, knight c6. That was really, really nice. And then some forcing sequences resulted in a drawn endgame, but it was also not trivial to calculate those complications. Both players did well, and finally it was a logical outcome that the game ended in a draw.
And the longest game of the day, Bluebaum against Caruana, another big fight, I think. And I think quite did Caruana have any winning chances somewhere?
I would not call it a big fight. I would call it a big torture. Because because it was a big torture for Bluebaum, because he was playing white, and it's clear that by now he is not sure of himself, because after you are losing 3 games and you are almost in every game under pressure, it's very difficult to handle this mentally. And we should also not forget it's his first super tournament, which did not go as planned right from the beginning, and somehow it looked to me like he didn't exactly know what to do, and he was trying to play it safe, but he would also like to play, but then he changed the queens too early, and basically he was with the white pieces the one who had to fight for equality. It was not like black had to equalize, and once black comfortably equalized, even got the chance to push, then Matthias clearly got a bit afraid, and he definitely did not want to lose this game again. And Fabiano felt the moment that suddenly out of a drawish position there are chances, there are good practical chances, and he managed to put the pressure, and by finishing the time control he ended up with a pawn up. It was like a drawish position because 3 against 2 on the king side, but not a rook endgame, but a rook knight versus rook knight endgame, which is a nightmare to defend. But somehow the configuration was like Fabiano couldn't maintain the rooks and the knights together if he wants to keep the 3 pawns against the 2. So he faced this choice whether he allows white to exchange the rook with rook e1, which he was afraid of. I think it was also a psychological moment for Matthias, because I'm also not sure if Matthias would have dared or move 40 to change the rooks, but you don't know. And Fabiano thought that he doesn't want to allow that. But after this, white managed to exchange 1 pawns on the king side, and after we reached this 2 versus 1, there were still some issues, but the material was reduced, and we really had the feeling that this should sooner or later end in a draw. But then again, Fabiano managed to create some chances, but just when he thought that he has maybe some hope to put further pressure, then he missed the very nice defensive resource of Matthias. And then we reach this rook knight versus rook endgame, which is not only theoretically draw, but also practically speaking, it's a very easy draw. So the players, Fabiano tried on, but when he saw that Matthias defends correctly, then the draw was finally sealed.
Do you think it's okay that Fabiano just tried to win the endgame in the rook knight against rook ending? Do you think it's legitimate? Everybody knows it's a draw, more or less, but why does he keep playing on? Just trying for a mistake of Matthias then?
I think it's very natural that you are playing this. First of all, there is also some kind of a frustration because he really wanted to win that game, because this case, the last game against Levon Aronyan would be a real fight for the first place. And he felt like with black he was putting pressure, so finally reaching rook knight against rook with the black color, this is actually some achievement. And okay, why not to play a little bit and to see how your opponent reacts, because the white king was cut down to the first rank. So I thought it was absolutely logical to play on. And then, however, Fabian also gave the chance for Matthias, after seeing that he defended nicely, correctly, to finish in style. Yeah. And the game finished in a stalemate, so I think this pleased everyone.
And after 6 rounds, it's already clear that Levon won the tournament. Isn't it quite a surprise, I think? He started with 2 draws, and then, okay, he played a great four great games and won, but being the tournament winner already, won in such a short tournament, it's quite surprising, I think.
Yeah, it's a brilliant result. Actually, congratulations, Levon, for this brilliant performance. However, clearly, we are very happy for Levon for winning, but I think all the spectators and everybody would have really enjoyed if this last game between Fabiano and Levon would have been a real fight for the first place. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow we will see a really big fight between the 2 players. However, Levon can already enjoy his tournament victory, but it's a prestige duel anyway. So it's not only fight for the first place, there is also chance for Fabiano to secure the second place with a victory. And there is also the fantastic match coming up between Magnus Carlsen and Vachier-Lagrave. So there is still a lot to look forward to in the 7th round. I'm pretty sure that we will be spoiled with brilliant chess. I only feel that the tournament was so fighting and so interesting. It's a little bit pity that Levon spoiled it, but congratulations. If you really make +4 and out of 6 games and you win 4 games in a row, then you deserve to win the tournament.
It's a bit of a surprise that this last time he won the tournament was Sinkfield 2015. So in 2016 he didn't win the tournament. Do you have any explanation for that he didn't win anything in last year?
It can happen. Yeah, it can happen. It happened. Somehow the last year was the year of Wesley's Law. So it was difficult for anyone to get in, to interfere with that. And but definitely Levon is now extremely happy, relieved. Such tournament victory gives you extra energy for the future. So let's see how it will continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Round 7 tomorrow, and we'll have some comments again by Peter Leko, and also a short overview of the tournament. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.